Looking for a workhorse, or maybe a car to fit your active lifestyle? How about a Nissan NP300 Navara?
This test car weighs just below 2 tons and can carry just above a tonne. It can also tow up to 3.5 tons, so I guess it will be useful on a construction site or in a gardening business. It also has proper four-wheel drive, so with good off-road tires, Navara should cope in the rough stuff. This is the third generation of Nissan's modern-day pickup, but if you go back further, Nissan traces it 12 generations back to a 1933 Datsun. Navara name was first used in 2005, but NP300 goes back to 1997. For Europe, current third-generation NP300 Navara is made in Spain. Navara also has siblings Renault Alaskan and Mercedes-Benz X-Class. Nissan Navara comes as a 4-seater king cab or a 5-seater double cab. This affects the bed length. You can also choose a chassis cab to install whatever you need. This is a double cab and this bed is about 155 by 155 centimeters, about 110 centimeters wide by the floor between the wheel arches. There are several types of bed covers, including a hardtop. You can also have a plastic or aluminium bed floor.
Access to the tailgate is independent of the central lock, so you just open and close it with a lock here. You pull out a key out of the fob. Now this car has keyless access and keyless ignition, so I suggest you make a copy of this key here so you don't lose it when pulling it in and out of the key fob, because you're going to lose either the key or the fob.
Perhaps you don't see it here in the back, but this is the top-spec Tecna model. There is a leather upholstery and a sunroof option if you wish. Regardless of the trim, double cab always gets 2 ISOFIX mounts. Seat can be raised. The old Navara had a plastic shelf back here. Now you get access to tools, which I would normally expect to be behind the seats. Perhaps this saves some space, but knee room is about the same like in the Ranger, which I'm testing at the same time. Tunnel is almost flat, but the floor is higher, so you have less headroom than in Ford's pickup. In the front, it's all Tecna trim luxury, namely a 7-inch infotainment screen. It's not the most modern system out there, but it gets Nissan's 360-degree camera, which makes parking this 5.3-meter car easier. There is good storage, 12-volt sockets, USB port. The dials are clear. It's not the most refined cockpit, but this is not what I expect from a workhorse.
But spending a lot of time with a workhorse like this, I would expect some minimum comfort. Nissan says these seats were developed together with NASA, so this is like space technology. Well, maybe it is space technology, but it doesn't have lumbar support adjustment. On Polish market specifically, there is no lumbar support adjustment across the range, not even as an option. Unless you take the leather-trimmed electric seats, which are available in Poland only on Tecna spec, then with the electric seats you get 8 ways adjustment, and I suppose there is lumbar support there. But on normal seats like that, nothing. In Ford Ranger, you get lumbar support adjustment across the range regardless of trim level.
Like in the Ranger, also here, roof railing is reserved for higher spec models. You also get LED daytime running lights.
So, how's this 5.3 meter pickup to drive? Well, surprisingly easy actually. Navara has a 12.4 meters turning circle, which is about the same as in BMW 7 Series. Now, okay, BMW 7 Series is a big limo, but it's not a truck.
New Navara has a Euro 6 diesel under the bonnet. This means using AdBlue. This test example is powered by a 190 horsepower 2.3 diesel with 450 Nm of torque. There is also a less powerful 160 horsepower version. Nissan claims the 190 horsepower variant will use about 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers combined, 7.5 in the city. I'm getting about 7.5 combined, 8.5 in the city, without load of course. Double cab also gets new multi-link rear suspension, which makes this car better to drive on the road.
This car has a 6-speed manual gearbox. Automatic is available on higher trim levels with the more powerful engine. The only problem I have with this gearbox is that in order to engage reverse, you have to really swing far right towards the passenger. Otherwise, it's okay. And what I found out, it's actually easier to drive off-road with a manual gearbox than with an automatic that I had in the Ford Ranger. And that's even without optional rear diff lock. This car doesn't have optional rear diff lock.
I tested the Navara off-road together with the more powerful Ford Ranger, which also had automatic transmission and rear diff lock. In order to get it moving up sandy slopes, I had to switch the automatic transmission into manual mode. Navara with a manual gearbox coped better. Neither of the cars got stuck, but I felt that the Ranger was approaching its limits where Navara just plowed up the hill. I checked the tires. Navara has 18-inch Continental Conti cross contacts and Ranger 18-inch Dunlop Winter Sport M3s. Dunlops were in better nick and had deeper tread, so I expected the Ranger to be better in the sand. I realize for tough off-road scenarios you use different tires, different driving technique and so on. I can't say which car would be better in real tough situation in the hands of a more capable off-road driver, but here, Navara was better.
Navara has one more advantage over Ford Ranger I tested. This car doesn't spin wheels every time I take off. I doubt it has anything to do with extra power, more torque, or some sort of different weight distribution. I think it's down to the tires and or the automatic gearbox, which Ford Ranger had. So anyway, Nissan rarely spun its wheels when taking off, and Ford Ranger did on numerous occasions.
Under normal circumstances, these are rear-wheel drive cars. Four-wheel drive can be engaged on tarmac, but besides higher fuel consumption, maneuverability suffers. Meanwhile, most powerful engine variant of the Volkswagen Amarok with automatic transmission gets permanent four-wheel drive.
All trim levels in double cab get a cruise control with speed limiter. They get emergency brake assist. Because this car is big and the steering is quite light, I wouldn't mind some sort of a lane keeping assist system. Unfortunately, Nissan doesn't provide that.
If you're thinking about getting a pickup truck because you need this car for your job, or maybe you want to carry things like a quad bike on the weekends, then Navara sounds fine. But if you just like the pickup image, think again.
This is Europe, so you'll need to invest in some cargo space protection and arrangement solutions. And then try putting your shopping back here. Unless you have a 3-generation family to feed, any type of shopping will be too small to fill the bed. And you'll have to get on and off the bed to load and unload it.
Prices of Nissan NP300 Navara start at €26,500. This test example, double cab Tecna manual with a 190 horsepower diesel, costs around $41,500. Are you considering a pickup truck for business or recreation? Or maybe you just like the look of it? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, rate and share. New episodes every Friday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.